Hello, welcome all to the bizBox webinar, which we prepared together with Hisense Gorenje Group companies for all of you suppliers. I'm happy that I see a lot of you join this webinar for more information on how to send invoice to Gorenje. First, an introduction. My name is Anja and I am an invoicing and EDI sales specialist at ZZI. I'm also the responsible in the Hisense Gorenje supplier onboarding project for the exchange of invoices. Here with us, I also have my colleague Patrick, who will later show you the creation of an invoice in the bizBox portal. Patrick is one of bizBox technical team member for this project. Patrick, hello.
Hello.
A few pointers before starting. The webinar is being recorded, so everyone who registered for the webinar today will receive a recording tomorrow, and the recording will also be published on the bizBox website. We will also forward the recording to all suppliers, so you can ask questions during the webinar, and at the end we have set aside time for your questions that will arise during this webinar. Today, the team members from Gorenje should join us, but they have some technical issues, so maybe later on they will join us. At the presentation, we see companies that participate in the obligatory receipt of invoices within the group. From now on, all these companies will receive invoices exclusively in the structured invoice format in bizBox network. To start, let's clarify the definition of an invoice. An invoice is electronic invoice, often referred to as an invoice, is generated, sent, and received in a structured data format, enabling automated and electronic processing. Also, visualization and additional attachments can be added to an invoice. What about PD invoice sent to email? PDF, while commonly used format for invoices, doesn't confirm the structured invoice format. Consequently, it lacks the capability required for automation, traceability, and secure electronic data exchange. Additionally, it's essential to be cautious when receiving attachments via email, as there is a risk of potential virus threats associated with this method of exchanging invoices. In the European Union, electronic invoices have seen growing trend of legal regulation over the past years. Many EU member states have recognized the benefits of electronic invoicing, such as increased efficiency, reduced paperwork, and cost savings. Several countries have recommended or even made it obligatory for businesses to use electronic invoices when conducting transactions with public administrations. The EU has also taken steps to standardize electronic invoicing practice through the European Standard on Electronic Invoicing, which aims to create a common framework for electronic invoicing across the EU. This standardization helps facilitate cross-border trades and cooperation between businesses and government entities within the EU. Overall, the legal regulation and promotion of electronic invoices in the EU signify a commitment to modernizing and streamlining administrative processes while promoting sustainability by paper usage and environmental practice. Let's take a look at how EU member states already exchange invoices. In the picture, you can see the countries marked in dark red, which already have more than 50% invoice exchange coverage, while the rest are slowly following them. For example, Italy has had mandatory exchange of invoices even in the B2B segment since 2019, and all countries have a high level of exchange. let's see what awaits us in the future in the field of exchange of invoices. You can see from the timelines that more and more countries are switching to the exchange of invoices also in B2B segment. For example, Serbia, which starting in 2023, introduced exchange in business to government as well as business to business in one step. Also, the other EU members will also follow soon. Uh, Last year, the European Commission published its long-awaited proposal for legislative changes regarding the VIT in digital age, VIDA initiative. The VIDA proposal includes mandatory e-reporting and invoice operation for intra-EU transactions. It is one of the most important steps of the EU tax reform, which affects not only European companies, but also non-EU companies doing business with EU. In the invoicing field, changes are aimed to streamlining an exchange invoicing process. Invoices will become the default method for issuing invoices. The definition of an invoice will align with the one used in public procurement, including only structured electronic invoices. For example, unstructured formats like PDF will no longer be considered electronic invoice for tax purposes. There will be no need for customer consent to receive invoices, and also there will be added some data elements on invoice for directly related to payment. Also, these collective invoices will be discontinued. Okay, so why did Gorenje Hisense Group choose bizBox? bizBox as platform from ZZI is the leading invoice exchange provider in the region. We enable safe and reliable exchange. bizBox services are integrated in more than 60 ERP document systems. Also, bizBox includes an e-directory for partners with whom you can already exchange invoices or any other EDI documents. And the bizBox network already includes more than 25,000 companies, bizBox users. Also, bizBox network is connected to other international networks or EDI providers, which ensures easy exchange with partners outside this bizBox network. bizBox platform also includes tools, services for small businesses or for companies that do not yet have the option of creating invoices in a structured format. The solution enables easy sending and receiving to all partners within bizBox or connected networks. ZZI is also a provider for certified electronic document storage. Here in this picture, we can see a technical display of the exchange of invoices with Gorenje Hisense Group. Regardless of your invoice EDI format or exchange method, bizBox services make sure that recipient on the other side receive the invoice in the way they receive it. You can send an invoice to companies in Gorenje Hisense Group in prescribed formats such as UBL, bis30, this is the PayPal format, EDIFACT, Fatura. So if at this time you don't have the possibility to prepare these EDI formats for invoices, you can send us your current format, an example of your invoice XML or EDIFACT, and together with my bizBox support team, we will look for a possible mapping on our site. As I mentioned before, bizBox is interoperability exchange network that is already connected or is in the process of being connected to other networks or EDI invoicing providers. The picture shows only a few with whom we are in constant contact to ensure easy exchange between partners. If you don't see your invoicing EDI provider in this picture, there is no problem. Just send us the provider's contacts and we will arrange establishment of connection for exchanging invoices with Gorenje. Here I would like to also point out that we have already informed some of providers such as Comarch, Opus Capita, Editel, Pagero, CVV, that the most supplier onboarding project for entire group is underway and that we will direct you as suppliers to them depending on individual countries from where you come from. In the previous picture, you saw that one of the more prominent networks is PayPal. PayPal is a global hub for the exchange of structured documents. Some countries have also adopted PayPal as a national hub for the exchange of invoices. For example, Denmark, Sweden, also Australia. With its PayPal access point, bizBox enabled the easy exchange of invoices within all partners who use PayPal to exchange invoices. So each stakeholder in the PayPal network obtains its own PayPal ID on the basis of which the invoices are then routed. If your company use PayPal for exchange of invoices, just contact us to which company would you like to send an invoice, and we will provide you with PayPal ID and any additional instructions. You have also received this notification from your buyers, Gorenje group companies. In this notification, PayPal ID was also listed for every company individually. According to the list of today's participants, I see that some Italian suppliers are present. ZZI, as bizBox exchange provider, is also directly connected to the Italian system of exchange for invoices. To all companies within group, you can send an invoice via this SDI using the codice destinario listed below. Here we have the automated mapping to the invoice from Patura, this is Italian standard, to the invoice received by companies in Gorenje Group. As I mentioned earlier, there are still quite a few companies that don't have the option of preparing invoices in structured format. These companies can choose the bizBox portal solution for preparing and sending invoices. They can use this tool not only to send invoices to companies in Gorenje Group, but also to all customers using in bizBox network or connected networks. Here are just some of the advantages of using portal solution. It is one time that you enter all of your items or services, when then you later on just select from the list of next time. And there is also an option of copying already sent invoice. You just have to change the invoice number, dates, or number of items. At this point, here I would like to ask Patrick to, in quick steps, explain how to prepare and send the invoice in the bizBox portal. So I will change the presenter. Just one moment. Patrick, the word is yours.
Okay, thank you, Anya. Is my screen shown?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So I will now show you how to prepare the invoice in our bizBox web portal. First, you will need to register your user and your company, and then you will be able to log in to this web portal. So we will now log in, and here are all your applications that you have available in this portal. And for now, we will use electronic ordering. So we will prepare this invoice in this kind of application. So I click it. So we get to the site where we can already create new invoice. Here is the button to create a new invoice. And now I will click on it. And we can see that now there is a seller, buyer company, and the data for the seller and buyer. And we can also put the invoice number here in. As Anya previously said, we can also find the company from the party code list. We can then just click it and the data will fill. So where you will be able to put this data in is the code list. Here on the left side, there are the code lists, and we can click on the parties. Here is our company that was already created and registered, and we are able to actually edit some of the data for our company. But also we can create new party. So then we will be furthermore only to select from the dropdown. Now I will put some text and some data in, like tax number, okay, the name. I will also put the GRN, registration number, just the info that will actually be available to us later on. I will also put the postcode or city, region. I will now put that for it, and I will click for Slovenia. Okay, that's it for now. I will save it and go back. So here is this company now created. We can also put in the data for the items. So we will be able, when we will create the invoice, also select all the items just from the dropdown. I can see I actually made one item already. I will create a new one now. So we select the type. It's about the sale item or purchase item. I will now go with the sale item. For this example, name, I can go with item 1, GTI in. I will put in, okay, we'll just change a bit, just like that. So these are the quick steps to actually put in some data that will help us later on. I will now send it, and I will click to the e-procurement left upper corner. So I get to the site where I can now create the new invoice. So now I will click on it, and for our seller, we have already filled the data in. So we will only select the buyer company. This is the buyer company. Also, I will put in the payment account as I previously didn't put in the code list of company. So I need to now put it myself. Invoice number, we will test 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now we are at the invoice review. Here in the right upper corner, here are the invoice metadata. Just to make it clarified, this black star is for the mandatory data that needs to be present. The blue data is actually the mandatory data to send the invoice to public entities in Slovenia. So in your case, you won't need this data to be filled in, but some of them sometimes make sense to also put in. Here are the data like invoice number, date of issue. I will just now choose the due date. Delivery date, we'll put it as 25th. Okay, I will also select business process, invoices of deliveries of goods. We'll select the purpose code now. Payment purpose. If I have order reference already, I can also place into the reference to this order. So this is maybe an order 1, 2. Payment method, I choose from the drop down. An invoice has to be paid. I will check this now and select the reference. So now we put the data in for the invoice metadata. Now we need to also put the data for the items. As previously said, we already created 2 of the items to now just select from the dropdown. I will select or item 1 we created and click add item. Item is now here and I will only put quantity, the unit. This kind of data I would be also able to put in the cost list, but I didn't before. So we need to do it now. Price will be 2 and we need to choose VAT. Okay, I will go with the standard rate of 22%. As I filled this data, now I had to calculate. So this calculator actually gives us the amount summary, amount, net amount, VAT amount, and total amount of euro. We can also now put the attachments that we have it for ourselves. So if somebody has attachment of maybe visualization of the invoice, you can put your visualization here in the attachments with the button of choose. And you can also put some PDFs of an order or something like that. This is up to you. I will now just click for prefer for sending. Here is our visualization that is also always created. Just didn't actually know. Okay. Okay, it is now here. That is also creates. This is the standard or visualization. So if you don't have it for yourself, your visualization, and you don't put it in, here is our visualization. So you will be actually able to also send it with your invoice. Now we just only click the send button. And okay, our invoice is sent. Okay, that's I think it is for now. Anya also said something about only duplicating the invoices. If we go to the supplier and invoices, I clicked before, we have this button on the right side, create duplicate. So this is our invoice and we will also create duplicate. All the data are filled, copy, we'll just maybe check with the 2. And we can also just change this and also send prefer for sending. So we are able to duplicate these invoices if we don't have too much to change for. That's it for me.
But yeah, could you just please show us where we can see that the invoice was really sent and received to Gorenje Group?
Here is it visible. We have your statuses. I will go now in the e-procurement as you would be on the first site. You go in e-procurement, you go for the supplier as this is you go for the invoices, and you have statuses. This one is already delivered. I sent before. This one is in draft. I actually duplicated. It's because the document number it's 2. Okay. Anya, do you maybe have anything more?
So when we see this status delivered, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
We
It's
know
the
that
green one that is sent.
Gorenje Group. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem, Anya. I will now put the presenter to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Does it see my screen back?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So what are these steps? Here is more polished version of steps to start sending invoices to Gorenje. First, check the possibility of preparing, generating unstructured invoice within your business software, ensuring compatibility with standard formats such as UBL, EDIFACT, PayPal, ASLOC, then reach out to your chosen invoicing or EDI service provider and have them initiate contact with bizBox to acquire specific connection details and additional informations. If maybe we are already connected and there will be no additional setup on our side on your invoicing provider side. If you find that your current business software lacks of the capability to generate this structured invoice, or if you encounter issues with your selected EDI invoicing provider, take the following actions. Get in touch with bizBox, me, or my bizBox support team directly to explore this possibility of using the bizBox portal solution for preparing and sending invoices. By following these steps, you can efficiently initiate the process of sending invoices to all Gorenje Hisense Group companies. Also, if you will have later on any additional questions, don't hesitate to contact me or my support team. Okay, this was my short and Patrick's presentation. Is there any questions? Here is now time for your questions and my answers. I will check this GoToWebinar tool if some question has already arisen from you. Okay, so we have some questions. That's good. So let's see what are the costs for the supplier? Okay, so as long as you have already prepared an invoice in a structured format and connect to bizBox with an existing EDI invoicing provider, there are no additional costs from our side. But if you would like to use bizBox services, there are exchange or setup costs depending on which options you would use. For example, the portal solution is available for preparing for use of free of charge. We only bill transactions for sent documents. For more information, you can contact me directly. Here maybe also I can show you these are EDI packages for bizBox. So if using our bizBox services for sending invoices, you can choose a package and additional services according to company size and scope. We have subscription packages listed as in the price list that you see, as well as prepaid packages for the lease of certain number of transactions which you can use if necessary without monthly subscriptions. Okay, so another questions. We are currently using EDIFACT the 96A, not D.o.o. Okay, this is another invoicing format. Here you have two options. One is that your EDI provider provide you with the correct EDI format. So that means that he does the mapping on his side, or we can provide mapping on our side. Of course, this is an additional service that we need a confirmation from Gorenje company for which you would like to send an invoice. Okay, what are the prices for using bizBox solutions? This is I already show you on a slide before. Are the EDI packages in the picture limited to a month? Okay. EDI packages are currently non-time limited. This is when you order a prepaid package, and when you run out transactions, you order new ones. As I mentioned before, you can use these packages not only for sending invoices to Gorenje Heises company in the group, but for all partners in bizBox network and connected networks. Okay. Where can I obtain PayPal ID from Mora Moravia? Okay, I mentioned before you have already received a notification letter from Mora Moravia, I think also from our side that we sent from our bizBox sales mail. Please contact me on my email and I will send you a Mora Moravia PayPal ID so you could send invoice through PayPal e-delivery network. Okay, we don't have invoice format as listed in your Gorenje presentation. Okay, as I mentioned, you should send us an example of your structured invoice, XML or any other structured format, and we will check which format you use. If there will be possibility to do the mapping within standards, we will notify you for any further steps. We have an invoicing provider Comarch. What are next steps? Okay, you should contact their support team and they will notify us. We will activate it on our side. They will activate on their side, and there is no problem sending invoices through Comarch services because we are already connected to Comarch. Okay. Apart from the invoices, can we transfer another documents between us, sales order, delivery notes? Yes, you can send also any other EDI documents, but this is something that you should first ask your buyer from Gorenje Hisense Group. You can also include me in the email. We can exchange orders and delivery notes in EDIFACT. So this is something that you should discuss directly with them, and then all additional technical information regarding exchange these other EDI documents will be forwarded from my side. Okay, here is also our invoice provider supports a custom XML format, not supporting UBL or EDIFACT. Can you process the custom XML format from the Hungarian provider? Okay, how does the process look like in this case? Okay, as I mentioned, I think that we have already done the mapping from a Hungarian standard. So maybe you should send this format example of invoice to me, and we will take a look. And maybe you have already got an invoicing provider. Maybe he could send the invoice directly through interoperability networks, or maybe you could use bizBox services. This is something that we should discuss later on one-on-one. From which date do we need to prepare the invoicing sending? Okay, this is something that you have been already notified, I think, almost 6 months ago. So from yesterday should be the answer from my side. As soon as possible. So if you don't have capability at this moment to directly prepare and exchange invoices from your business applications, please obtain as soon as possible. In meantime, I would like then to onboard you to use bizBox portal solution. But this is something that also if maybe some of the groups for some suppliers will postpone this date. But as I mentioned, you should start sending invoices today. What if we don't want to use bizBox? We are using already Tungsten, Coupa, and Ariba. Then you should contact their support team, and they will arrange a connection to bizBox network. I also mentioned before, there is no need for you to use our bizBox solution services. If you already have an invoicing EDI provider, just contact them and they will arrange connection to bizBox network if there is not already established. You should contact support team of Tungsten or Copa or Ariba, who are your invoicing provider. They will contact us. Here are on the slides, you will see my contact emails or my phone number, also from support team. So just insert these emails, send them to your invoicing provider, and they will do the next steps to contact us. Okay, so is there any more questions? If not, I would like to thank you all for joining today's webinar. Also, Patrick, I would like to thank you. If you have any additional questions, here are my contacts. Contact me by email or you can call me. If you have examples of your invoices in structured formats, you can also send me for review, and I will give you some next steps on how to be easily and quickly onboarded to send invoices to all Gorenje Hisense Group. So at this time, I would like to thank you all also, and have a nice day. Thank you
Have a nice day.
and bye.